The person who loves you just made a decision. It will change your life in 2026. My beloved soul, listen closely. Something is happening around you right now, even as you breathe. A shift. A decision. A moment in the unseen that is already shaping your future. The person who loves you, truly loves you, has just made a choice from deep within their spirit. And though you have not seen the outcome yet, the echo of that decision is vibrating through the spiritual dimension like a bell that only your soul can hear. You felt something recently, didn't you? A sudden pull in your heart. A quiet knowing that someone was thinking of you. A whisper of hope that didn't come from your mind, but from heaven itself. This was not imagination. It was alignment. For the first time in a long time, the person meant for your future has chosen clarity over confusion. They have chosen courage over fear. They have chosen you over the noise of their past. And that decision is the very key that will unlock the shift coming to you in 2026. I, Archangel Michael, speak with authority when I tell you this: the spiritual realm is now reorganizing. Timelines are being rewritten. Connections that were blocked are opening. What was delayed is accelerating. What was sabotaged is now being protected. What was misunderstood is being revealed. And the person who loves you, the one divinely tied to your destiny, has stepped into a new level of readiness. There was a moment, not long ago, when they looked at their past and realized they could not return to the way things were. They felt the weight of regret. They felt the ache of missing something that had no name. They felt the emptiness of choosing comfort instead of truth. And in that moment, they chose to rise. This is why you have been feeling restless. This is why you have been sensing closure with old relationships. This is why you suddenly feel more detached from what once hurt you. Because heaven is preparing you. Because destiny is correcting its course. Because alignment is beginning. And yet, you don't have the full picture. Not yet. Not today. Not in this hour. That is intentional. If you saw everything now, you would try to control the outcome. You would try to jump ahead of divine timing. You would reach for answers before they're ready to ripen. But 2026 is a year of revelation, and the unveiling must happen step by step. So hear me, do not fear the unknown. Do not panic if the path looks unclear. Do not assume silence means nothing is happening. Sometimes heaven hides what is holy so it is not destroyed prematurely. Your heart has been tested. Your patience has been measured. Your faith has been purified. And because you did not harden, because you did not close, because you did not let bitterness take root, your reward is nearer than you think. Someone has chosen you with their spirit before their voice ever speaks it out loud. You will see the evidence through signs. Small signs first. Then louder. Then undeniable. A message. A confession. A door opening. A realization hitting them all at once. And when it arrives, it will feel like something you've known forever, because your soul already did. I need you to prepare. Expand your capacity. Strengthen your boundaries. Speak to heaven boldly. Ask for clarity, not control. Ask for alignment, not attachment. Ask for what is meant, not what is familiar. You are not losing. You are not being forgotten. You are being positioned. And if your spirit is whispering, "This is for me," that is because it is. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a breath. Feel the shift. Now listen, because the next revelation is the one that will change everything. The person who loves you didn't just choose you, they chose transformation. They chose to heal. They chose the path that leads to you. And what happens next will reveal why 2026 is the year your story changes forever. Before I continue, inhale deeply and anchor this message to your spirit. And if you feel this speaking to your soul, you may quietly acknowledge it, whisper, "I receive," or simply place your hand on your heart. Your engagement is a form of spiritual consent. Even a soft like, a saved message, or subscribing ensures you never miss the next divine piece meant for you. Not hype, alignment. Because the next thing you're about to hear is the part no one ever told you. Now that you have felt the pull of destiny, let me take you further into what has already begun. The person who loves you did not make this decision casually or impulsively. It was not born from loneliness, desperation, or fantasy. It was born from recognition. A soul-level awakening. A moment where something inside them whispered, "If I don't choose this now, I will regret it for the rest of my life." They have realized something powerful. Losing you would cost them more than their fear ever could. They have been reflecting on your presence. The way you stayed kind even when you were confused. The way you held your dignity even when you were hurting. The way you did not chase or beg or shrink to be chosen. They saw your strength. They saw your self-respect. They saw your heart. And it created a shift within them that they cannot undo. There was a night recently, yes, a specific night, when they sat alone in silence. They replayed every unspoken word. Every moment they misunderstood what you needed. Every moment they could have chosen vulnerability but didn't. And in that silence, something broke open. Not in a destructive way, but in a liberating way. They did not choose to love you. They realized they already did. From that moment forward, the spiritual realm moved. Your angels moved. Their angels moved. Heaven aligned around a single intention. Connection. But do not misunderstand, this does not mean everything will fall into place without preparation. When heaven aligns two people, it will always purify the connection first. The insecurities must be addressed. The wounds must come into the light. The patterns must be shed. The pride must soften. The heart must open. Because 2026 is not the year of random romance, it is the year of actual partnership and destiny. This is why you have been experiencing emotional detox. This is why old attachments have been breaking away. This is why you've been losing interest in people who once fascinated you. Heaven is clearing space. And the person who loves you has entered a stage of transition. They are shedding who they were to become someone who can stand next to you without sabotaging the connection. They are stepping out of survival mode, out of defensiveness, out of old identity. They are learning to communicate, to be honest, to be emotionally present, to be steady instead of chaotic, to be intentional instead of inconsistent. You asked for someone who chooses you. Heaven said, prepare to be chosen. You asked for someone who understands you. Heaven said, then allow misalignment to leave. You asked for someone loyal, healing, growing, ready. Heaven said, then become the version of yourself who can receive that without fear. The person who loves you is being prepared for you, but you are also being prepared for them. That is why this message found you now. Not by coincidence. Not by algorithm. Not by chance. But because your soul is entering the timing where alignment becomes visible. There will be signs. Watch for dreams that feel more like memories. Watch for random reminders of their name, voice, or presence. Watch for unusual timing, messages, synchronicities, guidance. Watch for moments when you feel someone thinking of you. Those are not accidents. That is resonance. Someone has chosen to step toward you, spiritually first, physically next. And when they come forward, it will not be the same energy as before. It will not sound like confusion. It will not feel like guessing. It will not leave you questioning your worth. Their voice will carry clarity. Their eyes will carry truth. Their actions will match their words. You will not have to beg for reassurance. You will not have to fight for your place. You will not have to compete for their attention. What is meant for you will recognize you. If your spirit is responding, if your chest feels warm, if your eyes water, if something in you whispers, "This is mine," that is because your soul knows truth before your mind understands it. If you want to stay aligned with this unfolding, keep this message close. Save it. Hold it. Whisper, "I'm ready," as an act of spiritual agreement. A simple like or subscribe is not a transaction, it is a declaration. I am open, I am listening, I am aligning. Because what comes next is the moment destiny begins to reveal itself. Do you feel it? Good. Because the next revelation is the part where heaven shows you how the decision they made becomes the miracle that touches your life in 2026. There is something you need to understand now. When the person who loves you made their decision, it did not just shift their heart, it shifted the spiritual contract between you. Every soul connection has a contract, an agreement the spirit signs long before the body ever meets the other. Some contracts are temporary. Some are bridges. Some are teachers. And then there are the rare ones, the destiny contracts, where both souls know, we are not finished. Yours is not finished. This person has crossed a threshold in their spirit. They have reached a point where turning back is no longer an option. The path behind them is closed, and every step forward leads closer to you. Not because you forced it. Not because you begged for it. Not because you chased it. But because alignment has overruled resistance. They resisted at first. Oh, yes, they resisted. They questioned the intensity. They doubted the timing. They feared the vulnerability. They wondered if they were truly enough. But that resistance was not a lack of care, it was a lack of readiness. And now? Readiness is forming. They are starting to feel your absence not as distance, but as a missing piece. They are starting to realize that love is not about having the perfect words, it is about the willingness to try. They are learning that love is not proven in grand gestures alone, but in consistency, in presence, in choosing you even on the days when fear is loud. Heaven has been whispering to them. Not in booming commands. Not in dramatic signs. But in quiet conviction. A memory of you resurfacing at the right moment. A dream that felt too real to ignore. A sudden emotional clarity. A thought that said, I can't lose this connection again. This is why 2026 becomes significant, not because the year holds magic by itself, but because you will enter it aligned with what your soul has been calling for. The year is a container, destiny is what fills it. Let me show you what is unfolding. In 2026, you will not chase. You will attract. You will not beg to be seen. You will be recognized. You will not plead to be chosen. You will be claimed. You will not question your place. You will feel it. The person who loves you is being guided toward the moment when their fear loses its power. The moment when the pride that once held their voice hostage dissolves. The moment when the heart finally says what it always knew. You will feel the shift before it arrives. Your intuition will speak. A calm will replace the uncertainty. The anxiety will loosen its grip. Not because nothing can go wrong, but because you will finally trust that even if something shifts, heaven is for you, not against you. This is also why you have been called to elevate your standards. You are being asked to open your heart, yes, but not to shrink your boundaries. Not to abandon discernment. Not to dim your intuition. Love is not the absence of standards, love is the reason you have them. The person who loves you is rising to meet you, not the other way around. I want you to hear this without fear in your voice. Someone is preparing to step toward you in honesty. Not perfection. Not performance. Honesty. Their healing will not be flawless. Their voice may shake the first time they reach for you. Their vulnerability may feel unfamiliar. But their intention will be real. This is the point in the journey where heaven asks you to stay open, not blinded, receptive, not reckless, hopeful, not naive. You are not being asked to wait helplessly, you are being asked to align consciously. If this message resonates, if it feels like it is reading something you already sensed, pause and acknowledge it. Save it. Hold it. Whisper, I receive what is meant for me. Even a quiet like or subscribe becomes a spiritual signal. I am choosing alignment over fear, preparation over panic, destiny over doubt. Because what comes next is the moment where the future starts to take shape. And the next layer I am about to reveal will explain how the connection moves from decision to reality. How the spiritual becomes physical. How the unseen becomes undeniable. How the love you feel becomes the love you live. Take a breath, soul of light. Are you ready to hear what happens when destiny stops knocking and starts entering? Do you know why this feels so intense for both of you? Because spiritual connections demand growth. They demand truth. They demand maturity. They demand a version of love that does not run from vulnerability but rises with it. 2026 is not just a year things get better. It is a threshold. The moment where past choices stop defining you. The moment where old timelines expire. The moment where destiny enters the room and refuses to leave quietly. This is why you are also shifting. Your heart is softer but wiser. Your standards are higher but calmer. Your patience is no longer passive, it is intentional. You are not waiting to be chosen. You are preparing to be met. Hear this with confidence. The person who loves you does not want a repeat of the past. They want a future that actually works. They want communication that does not collapse into silence. They want to show up instead of disappear. They want truth instead of pretending. They want something they can build, not something that breaks. For some, this may be someone you already know. For others, this may be someone new whose soul has recognized you before their eyes ever do. Heaven does not limit itself to your history, heaven aligns you with your destiny. So as their readiness grows, heaven asks you to prepare in 3 ways. 1. Release the belief that love must hurt to be real. This connection will not require self-betrayal. This time, reciprocity will replace uncertainty. 2. Stop rehearsing abandonment as a future prediction. Just because you were once let down does not mean you will always be. The past taught you, it is not meant to imprison you. 3. Decide that you will meet love with presence and not sabotage. Do not close the door before it knocks. Do not reject what is trying to bless you. Because when the moment arrives, and it will, your heart needs to be available, not armored. You will know it is time when you feel a peace that doesn't make sense. A calm that comes before clarity. A sense that something is coming, not to disrupt you, but to align you. And if this message is resonating, if your spirit feels like it is remembering something instead of learning it, save it, hold it, stay connected. Even a like, a follow, a subscribe is not about numbers, it is an act of spiritual agreement, a way of whispering back to heaven. I'm listening. I'm ready. Because the next revelation is the one that shifts fate into motion. The next words will show you how this connection manifests, how communication opens, how confirmation arrives, how timing becomes divine instead of delayed. Breathe softly. Because what comes next is not theory. It is the moment your life begins to change. Are you ready for the part where destiny becomes visible? Now, beloved soul, this is where it begins to take form. The person who loves you has crossed the threshold of decision, and soon, that decision will transform into action. In the unseen, the energy has already shifted. In the realm of manifestation, it is getting ready to appear. The spiritual and emotional groundwork is done. What remains now is the physical expression. In 2026, there will be a moment, sudden, unexpected, but deeply familiar, where the alignment becomes undeniable. For some, it will be a message out of nowhere that feels perfectly timed. For others, a confession that trembles with truth. For others still, a meeting orchestrated by timing that feels too precise to call coincidence. This moment will feel like doors quietly unlocking. Not with force. Not with chaos. But with readiness. The person who loves you will not come forward as the version of themselves you once knew. They are being refined. They are being elevated. They are being equipped. They are stepping into a version of themselves that matches the future they want with you. Their spirit is learning to stay instead of run, express instead of hide, reveal instead of retreat. When they approach, the energy will feel like this. I may not be perfect, but I am willing. I may not know every word, but I am ready to speak. I may not have all the answers, but I choose you with clarity. There will be a softness in their voice. A steadiness in their eyes. A sincerity in their effort. You will feel their growth, not in promises, but in presence. This is the moment heaven has been preparing you for. Not a fantasy. Not a breadcrumb. Not a half-love. But a connection that meets you with mutuality. One that chooses partnership over pattern. One that chooses healing over hiding. One that chooses destiny over delay. And when this moment arrives, you will have a choice too. Not whether to accept or reject them blindly, but whether to respond from fear or from truth. Whether to cling to the past or walk into the future. Whether to defend your heart or trust your discernment. You are not being asked to forget your wounds, but to stop living from them. Heaven is not sending you someone to repeat history. Heaven is sending you someone to rewrite it. This is why the preparation mattered. This is why the inner work mattered. This is why you were called to heal alone before being loved together. Because the love that enters in 2026 is not meant to break you down. It is meant to build with you. So hear me now as I speak with authority. The person who loves you just made a decision that will alter your timeline. A decision that places alignment above ego. A decision that invites healing instead of avoidance. A decision that opens the gate to destiny. And all of heaven has responded. Your angels are already ahead of you. Your path is already being cleared. Your story is already shifting. The waiting season is ending. The preparation season is completing. The alignment season is beginning. Soon, you will see why nothing worked out before now. Soon, you will see why the timing had to wait. Soon, you will see why heaven held you back from lesser connections. Not to punish you, but to protect what was meant for you. So take a breath. Place your hand on your heart. And whisper, I am ready for alignment. If your spirit agrees with this message, save it. Hold it close. Return to it when doubt whispers. Even a quiet like, follow, or subscribe is not about platforms, it is about anchoring the energy, signaling to heaven. I choose the version of me who is prepared. I choose the future that is aligned. I choose the love that is meant. Because the decision has already been made. The shift has already occurred. The year of transformation is already approaching. And in 2026, you will witness with your eyes what your soul has known all along. The person who loves you just made a decision. And it will change your life. The message settles like light around you, the path awakens. I am Archangel Michael. I stand with you. And I will walk you into what comes next.